Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Old Guy Farms Single Player Challenge. We are in episode 51 and we are in game day 3 of spring in year 3. So let's get on in. Hey John, hey Lee. Alright, here we are. Let's see here. Got our eggs cleaned up. Alright, let's clean up our sheeps. Before we do anything, I want to clear these 2 pallets of wool out of the way. I want to keep this area clean now. In the event that we get busy with something, we won't be, we want to be in a position where we can maybe get distracted a little bit and won't have to worry about the wool area filling up. Alright, we also have growth on our grass, so we should look at fertilizing that now. Now, I updated the Massey Pack, and the updated Massey Pack has this fertilized spreader. The capacity has been greatly reduced. Used to have a capacity of 2,000 liters, and now it only has a capacity of 500. So we are also going to be in a position where we need to think about. Are we? We're not. Are we at? No, we're at 2 stages on everything. We need to be at 3 stages on everything. All right. We need to look at fertilized spreaders because this one at 500 liters now just isn't going to cut it. I'm thinking about this one right here. $24,000, 24 meter spread, 3,200 liters. This one is 24 meter spread, 4,000 liters. This one's just a few little bit more. So I'm thinking about that one. We're going to go ahead and see how far this does take us. It does have 500 liters in it already, so we're going to obviously go ahead and why are we not? that not taking fertilizer? It doesn't look like it's taking fertilizer. It should. Should be taking fertilizer. I don't really understand why it's not. It doesn't look like it's taking it either. We'll check this one out. No, it's not dark enough. I don't know what the deal is. Alright, well, we'll put this back. I thought we could be able to fertilize because we have had a growth state in the grass, but apparently not. Whoa. So we'll go put this back in the barn. Or in the shed. How's everybody doing today? Hope everyone's Sunday's going well. Alright, well, we'll just park this up here then. And we'll go get our truck and we'll get back to logging. We've definitely seen grass growth far earlier than, actually, you know what? We don't need it. We need to put manure in our greenhouses. I remember from earlier today. So let's run this over to the greenhouses so we can also water them. All right. Hey Joe, how are you doing? So if we get up here and if we get up here and check our greenhouses, we see that they have a manure level of 16%. At least that one did. These all should be fairly close to each other as far as fill levels. Since our greenhouses are bringing us in about $27,000 a day, we need to, oh no, we need to keep them stocked. So I'm wondering if we will be able to, I'm wondering when we'll have full growth on our grass. It'd be interesting if we had full growth by late spring. That would be outstanding if that could happen. Remember, everybody, we have a goal of 1,000 silage bales this year. Last year we were a little short of our goal. We had a goal of 600, and we were able to, I think we were able to make 500 and some. So we were a little short on that. I also mentioned that this is a challenge. The winner of the challenge will win the DLC, the Platinum DLC that's coming out in November. And in the event that I win the challenge, I will be giving away that copy of the Platinum DLC to one lucky viewer. And you may be asking yourself, well, how do you enter? Well, you enter to win by posting on episode 72 the total number of bales that I sold during the 3-year challenge. So how are you going to come about that information? Well, the only way to really come about that information is to keep track of the number of bales sold by watching the previous 71 episodes. We sell silage bales in the winter, but we may also sell some other type of bale. I'll give you a hint. We have sheep, so that might be a hint for you. So sheep wool counts as a bale, and there may be more than one bale of wool in a pallet. So don't just count wool pallets as one. So we just sold a bunch of wool pallets yesterday. We sold some wool pallets in year 1. We sold wool pallets in year 2. Well, I guess we didn't sell any wool in year 1. We didn't buy any sheep that early. So the first person that comments on episode 71 with the correct number of wool pallets bought or made and sold, they will win, or not wool pallets, but bales. They will win the Platinum DLC. If no one guesses the correct number, then whoever is closest, whoever is first and closest, will win the Platinum DLC. Now, while I plan on being done this challenge in early September, their deadline for being done is not until November 1st. So there are several contestants that are playing this challenge. They have until November 1st to finish. So we won't necessarily know if I'm the victor until after November 1st. So if you do put your guess in, I will not be able to tell you if you've won until I know if I've won, and that won't be until after November 1st. Alright, just a few more greenhouses, and then we can get to watering them, and then we can get to doing our lumber. We're going to do forestry until we have a full grass growth. Hopefully that will be in 2 game days. I'm hoping that'll be in the 5th day of spring. Of course, the 5th day of spring. Let's check our forecast. The 5th day of spring currently has forecasted rain. I would rather not mow and bale in the rain. There won't be any problems with us making silage bales with wet, in a wet condition. But I would rather not mow and bale in rain. Hey, Bombs Away, how are you doing? Interesting enough, we also have 4 days of summer showing in our forecast, and not a single day other than full sunshine. So we've got in the forecast 6 days of sun and 1 day of rain. It's pretty good. Now the summer temperature is a bit low, if you ask me. Wouldn't mind see that being a bit higher, but again, we're running vanilla seasons, and that's, I think, based on somewhere in the UK weather. I have to say, if the weather in general in the UK isn't warmer than what's being forecasted here in the forecast, I might want to move there. Right now in August, here where I am, it's not uncommon to have many days that are in the upper 80s and 90s. Hey, old guy farmer, how you doing? Welcome to chat. Yeah, I've been playing the Midwest Geo on Mountain Valley Farms, and I've seen temperatures in the 80s on that one. It also seems to have warmer winters. I don't think I'm going to get a frozen... There we go. I don't think I'm going to have frozen ground on that map until day 4 of winter, or day 3 maybe. I am in Virginia. I am in the western part of Virginia, not West Virginia, just the western part of Virginia. Just slow those trains down. I saw that one flying around the tracks. Reminded me I needed to slow them down. Hey Kaya, how are you doing? Alrighty. Let's get back in the woods. Alright, so we will get back to forestry. We did a little reprieve yesterday. We basically sold wood chips all day. We had a great demand for wood chips that we decided to take advantage of. I think we managed to take 4 loads to the sawmill. We still have a few piles of wood chips around. Weren't quite able to take all of them over, but we did get a fair number taken over there. We're putting a pretty big dent in this particular forested area. Alright, let's see here. Got a couple big trees over here we might as well get. If all goes well, we will be doing forestry for today and tomorrow. Our game day today, game day tomorrow. And hopefully game day 5 of spring, we will be back in the field mowing. That would make me very happy. Oh, that was awful. That was awful. We need to run a mission today. We did not get around to a mission yesterday. We won't be buying any more fields, so no more need to strategically decide on what fields we're going to do. And for those watching, I made mention a few days ago that I was looking for map suggestions for a map to do 24-day seasons on. I have made the selection, and there will be hopefully a video posted tomorrow morning in the channel as to what map that is. It will be a kind of an introductory video to set the stage as far as what the map is and the reasoning that I used to make that map selection. Hey Allard, how are you doing? So unlike this, unlike this map, the 24-day deal will not be exclusively streamed. It will probably be a hybrid of pre-recorded videos and occasional streaming. And that's mostly because the time that I can put in to streaming a map is pretty limited to a couple hours in the evenings. I really try not to stream until the youngest of my kids is off to bed. That way, if he needs attention, I can give it to him. Whereas it's a little bit easier to do a pre-recorded video, because I could, while I would rather do it in one big chunk, I could, you know, edit the video up in, I could record the video in smaller chunks and piece it together. Plus, pre-recorded would allow me to obviously condense some of the more monotonous things. So, for example, with 24-day seasons, there's going to be probably at least 20 days of plowing and cultivating and seeding for spring. So, as opposed to subjecting you to 28 streams of plowing and cultivating, like I'm subjecting you to 20 streams of cutting trees. That's funny. Or 20 streams of mowing and baling. She's more or less telling me that he's in her room and to come get him when I'm done here. Not that he necessarily needs to be moved over there right now. The oldest is 13 and the youngest is 3, so quite the disparity in ages. Got a fair number of decent trees here on this hillside. I have to say, part of the thing about this challenge that I've enjoyed the most is seeing some of the more finer details of Goldcrest Valley that lots of people probably haven't necessarily seen that much of. You know, of course, in the back of my head, I knew that this forested area butted up against the that cell point that's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and the beach that's behind it, and everything. But you know, visually, I don't think I've ever seen this aspect of the map. There's lots of areas that you just don't end up exploring until you do crazy, silly things like this. All right, Joe. I'll see you later. Getting a bit cloudy. Getting a bit cloudy. Alrighty. So I think we'll cut till about 5 p.m. and then we'll start picking up logs. I have to say that pile is an absolute mess. It's going to be fun to pick up. Right. Hey Gabe, how are you doing? Said we were going to cut till 5, but I think this will be the last log we cut for the day. That way we have a bit more daylight, hopefully, to pick these logs up. Because the last thing I want to be doing is trying to pick these logs up in the middle of the dark. Let's see here. I always like to park these things up on top of a hill. This looks like a nice spot. Get a little cleaner load here. Let's flip sides. And see what we can pick up. Oh, that was a mess. Switch sides, unload. It dropped in there a little better. Okay, switch sides. Alright. We'll call that a load. Let's take her to the sawmill. Hey, country boy, how are you doing? I don't know if I want to invest that much time in a mission. No train, we're good. I mean, $19,000 is decent money, but I don't feel like planting potatoes for the better part of an hour and a half to 2 hours. And so far we've done a great job of not rolling the truck. Right. Next load. Take this big old turn so we can just take it flat out. Oh. I think we would have took the bridge out there. Hey, Case IH Farman, how are you doing? Thanks for the sub. Almost did it there. Whoa, what was that? And of course, the last log you went off the trailer, or the log you went off the trailer, is last. Oh, we might as well just sell that load while we're at it. Well, I worry it's going to be pitch black by the time we get back from this load. Really don't like loading logs in the dark. JJ Butchert, how are you doing, buddy? So what are we saving our money for? We're saving our money for the end of the year. Oops. Darn buttons on the wheel. So we are participating in a 3-year seasons challenge. So we're using the seasons mod. We're using 6-day seasons. We're playing at 15 times speed, and the challenge is basically to see how much money you can earn over 3 years, 3 game years. It's mid-spring, so the only thing we can do that can earn money right now is logging. So we're logging. Here in the next couple game days, we will transition over to our summer strategy, which is mowing grass and wrapping silage bales. We'll wrap silage bales probably from the 5th day of spring all the way through until the 1st day of winter. At that time we will get back to our logging, and we'll sell our silage bales on the 3rd day of winter, which happens to be the day that you can get the most money for your silage bales. And we're shooting for a personal goal of $4.5 million by the end of this calendar year, or by the end of this game year. On the last day of this year, we will sell all of our equipment. We will sell all of the land that we own using the Bank of Hagenstadt mod. We will sell all of our sheep at some point in time this year. I'm not quite sure when I'll sell the sheep, but we will sell them all off. And my goal is $4.5 million after we've sold off all of our assets and we basically walk out of town. So there are about 6 YouTube contestants or YouTube personalities that are doing this challenge. They're all at various stages of the challenge. We are one of the 2, I think, that are the furthest along. Everybody has until November 1st. So we got a train coming. So we have until November 1st to finish the challenge. My goal is to be done the challenge here in about a month. We're in year 3. So we're in the 3rd year of the challenge right now. So we're on game day 51 of 72. Whoa! So we are seeing the, we have the end in sight. Every time I come down that hill, I get caught on that corner. Well, I don't think it'll be too hard. If you see the map here, we own a fair bit of land. So we get to sell all of that land. Where are we at? Okay. We get to sell all of that land on the last day. Oops, there we go. So I don't remember how much the land values are. but we probably have at least $500,000, if not $750,000 in property. Our personal goal is 1,000 silage bales this summer. So if we can make 1,000 silage bales, that's about $1 million in silage bales. Oh, look at that. I almost got them all. Over here, make a turn. Just this last summer, winter, we sold 500 and some silage bales, so we made ourselves a nice tidy $500,000 in one game day. With our logging efforts, we're bringing in about $100,000 to $125,000 a day between our logging and our greenhouses that we've got going for us. All right, let's strap that down. See if we can't not get stuck here. Awesome. Alright. Let's go sell this. So do you all play on PC? Do you all play on console? We're also allowed to play one game mission, or one mission per game day. We've not done a mission today, so let's go down here and see what this field wants. Oh, that's not too bad. We'll do that. We got a light Vultra. This thing is ugly looking. Vultras are ugly white. GPS time. Unfold this thing. What are we planting? We're planting corn. This thing is planting, isn't it? Yeah, it's planting. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to sit out here and chill out for about the next half hour, 45 minutes, and earn $19,000. Or was it $11,000? I don't know. So yeah, I guess console people, they don't have GPS mod, I guess. So wish we could do something else, but we're just gonna have to sit here and let this thing do its job. So the nice thing about the missions when we're playing this challenge is that right now we're playing at 1x speed during the mission. During normal gameplay, we're playing at 15 times speed. So it's not helping us right now. By doing this, we're just earning money at this point. But later on, we can use the strategy of having one hired helper doing a task, and then going and starting a mission. And since the mission runs at 1x speed, the hired helper is often able to do his work in a much more time compressed environment. So something that would have taken all game day running at 15 times speed could take just 1 hour running at 1x speed. So we've done that where we had a guy hired to bale and wrap. It would have easily taken a full game day at 15 times speed to do that task. But since we ran a harvest mission that took a little over an hour to run, the guy was able to wrap and bale the whole field while at the same time we were running that harvest mission, and then that really freed us up to do other things. So, like I said, we don't have anything going on. We don't have any hired helpers hired to do anything. So we're just going to be running this mission just for the sake of earning money. Yeah, it would be nice if PC folks could buy the season pass. That would be nice. Of course, you kind of bank and hope that there will be enough paid content that's released that makes the season pass economically advantageous. It's always a risk that you would buy the season pass and not enough paid content comes out to make up for that. We are allowed to run course play if we wanted to. The challenge limits us to only one hired helper at any one point in time. So course play is the equivalent of a hired helper. Now, you can't run course play in a challenge. Well, you could. You could run course play doing a challenge or doing a mission. As long as you were also in the tractor. If you went off to do something else, then it would fail you. During the challenge, we are required to pay our workers with course play. So when you activate course play, you're presented, the first time you enter the map, you're presented with a question. Do you want to pay your workers X amount of money per hour? Yes or no. So if you pick no, then basically your course play workers work for free. For the challenge, we were required to say yes. So if we did hire a course play worker to do this map or to do this mission, we would basically be paying for them to run this. So we'll just set up GPS, set up auto turn, and just let it do its thing while I hang out and chat with you guys. Hey Connor, how you doing? I see our sheep up there need water. We'll need to fill them up with water before we end the stream tonight. We are in the we're in the third day of spring, and we've already had 21 sheep breeded. We started the game year with 200 sheep, and like I said, it's toward the end of game day 3, and we've already got 221 sheep. So they are going to town. So what maps are you all playing? What map are you playing, JJ? Hey, Duck Zorly, how are you doing? How is it in the land on the other side of the globe? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. We're in game day 3 of spring on our final year, so we are in the final countdown. Dare I quote the title of a rather popular song, at least popular back in the day of my youth, probably your youth as well. I think we're a bit older than the other crowd here. We're just running a seeding mission, trying to pad our bank account a wee bit. So when's this video coming out showing me the best thing since the Big M? Hey John, how you doing? You know, you promised a video showing me the new mowing setup that's better than the Big M, but I haven't seen it hit the channel yet. There, now well, I guess we should get rid of our GPS. Then it'll actually look like I'm actually doing this for real. your new mic is coming. I have to say, for everybody that's new, the white Voltra is about an ugly Voltra. Not really liking the white. Let's run a little in cab. All kinds of audio equipment. Well, hopefully you'll be a little bit. Hopefully you'll bump the gain on your mic a little bit. It always is a bit. Always seems a bit quiet. I always end up turning the YouTube volume all the way up on the PC, and still it's a bit quiet. I'll tell you, I had an interesting issue today with a video I was trying to encode. Tomorrow morning, hopefully in the channel, a video related to the 21 or 24 seasons game series that I'm going to start will hit the channel, and I was encoding the videos, or the video for that. And usually I just preview the video real quick after I encode it. So I opened up the video, and it was like I was looking in a fishbowl. The video was wrapped around me, and I actually had up in the corner a little navigation thing where I could scroll or rotate around the video. The whole video was wrapped around me, above and below me. It was pretty odd. I have no idea how that happened. So I re-encoded it, I changed the settings a little bit, encoded it again, and I had the same result. If I played it with Movie Player, the default Windows thing, it was like that. And if I played it with VLC, it played just fine. So I thought, well, what the heck, I'll upload it to YouTube and see what happens. So I uploaded it to the channel, I still had it on private. I previewed the video, and the darn thing looked the exact same way in YouTube as it did in Windows Media Player. The whole video was wrapped around me. You could look up, look down, look all around. Yeah, it was kind of 3D-ish, or kind of like a kind of like those oh, what's that movie where you're in that thing and the whole screen wraps around you? I forget now. But anyway, what I tried on that video was I tried doing my title slide first, and then doing my little intro video, and then jumping straight into the actual episode. And that's when I was getting the weird old rotated camera thing. So I switched the order around to the intro video, the title slide, and the episode, and that seemed to encode just fine. So yeah, Ed, IMAX. So it was like I made my own IMAX movie. It was quite hilarious. So I can only imagine the comments I would have got if I didn't preview the video and I just stuck it up there. But I've got that encoded now, right? I just got to upload it. So the announcement as to what our 24-day map will come out tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow morning. If not tomorrow morning, just some odd time during the day when I finally get it released. glow-in-the-dark train. Just doing a little mirror play there. I've got, must have my settings set to 4 mirrors. I think you just need to talk louder. That'll get your gain up. Of course, it might sound weird. I look forward to hearing the new Duck Zorly audio setup. Now, you know, it'd be great if you could put a Donald Duck filter on your audio track for about the first 10 seconds. That would be to die for hilarious. We're almost halfway. Yippee! So what's Ed been up to recently? Really do wish these in-game tractors would have cab lights. Because, you know, in reality, all these little buttons would have backlights on them to light up. The dash would light up, the gauges would light up. Oh, well, that's good news. Have you been displaced for some reason? As far as living out of living with somebody else, or living in a some other temporary arrangement as a result of something that went on? wireless and solar. Hey Fred, how you doing? We got another Aussie in the house. Hey, you guys might be next door neighbors. Yeah, I can imagine that would. Well, good luck on getting moved in. The other day it was quite comical. We had two guys from North Carolina in the stream, and darn thing, it turned out they were from the same town. And for the better part of the entire stream, they were just chatting about their hometown between themselves. I think the next day, one of the guys popped in chat, and turned out earlier in the day he was on a multiplayer server with the other guy. It's 1 p.m. on Monday. Well, your Monday's half over, man. This is your winter. How cold does it get? How cold does it get for you all? I don't know what that means. What's 26 Celsius convert to us Americans in Fahrenheit? A 50-foot enclosed car carrier into a camping trailer. That ought to be interesting. Oh, that is a warm day for winter. I think it was probably the mid-80s for us today. We're in the we're soon approaching what we call the dog days of summer. The hot and steamy and muggy August and September. As a frame of reference, it's 11 p.m. where I am on a Sunday. There's that flickering sign I comment every time I run a mission on this field. Seems like every time I run a mission on this field, it's dark. And every time I run a mission, the light flickers. They really need to get out there and replace that light bulb. Yeah, so if you can tell me, Fred, what the winning lottery numbers are here in a little bit, I'll be glad to go out and buy a ticket. That way I can be a millionaire. Alright, we're almost at 3/4. Public holiday, what kind of day is it down there? Or is it like Canada? It seems like they have a holiday just because they haven't had a holiday in enough time. Here in America, it seems like we have at least one federal holiday per month. With the exception of 1 month, and I'm thinking it's June. I'm thinking June doesn't have any federal holidays, but every other month in the calendar has at least one. Show day. What's show day? Is that where you get to go out and show everybody your stuff? It's like flashing day. Yeah, you get holidays now. It's a holiday just for the fact that we haven't had a holiday in the last 2 weeks. So it's kind of like a so here in the States we have toward the end of summer, typically before school starts, there's county fairs, state fairs, and various other things like that. County fairs would have, for the farmers, you come out and show your, have animal auctions or animal judging. You judge your, the ladies would bake a pie and you have a pie bake off and stuff like that. Well, welcome, Agar. I'm just gonna call you Agar as opposed to the rest. Yeah, it seems, Ed, that pretty much government anywhere, they're just out for themselves once they get elected, and I guess if they can make their own holidays, they might as well, right? If they decide, well, we worked really hard the last 3 days, we should make a holiday so we can have 2 days off. How is it in Germany? We got at least four countries represented today in chat. Well, we shouldn't have too terrible much longer on this mission before we can get back to the more exciting things. We still have that load of logs to run out to the sawmill, and then we'll run back to the farm. We'll tend to our sheep. We'll get them some water. We'll clean up their pen. We'll pick up our eggs, and hopefully we'll fast forward the night into game day 4 of spring in year 3. Well, at least we have a fire extinguisher in our tractor. Is that the stationary bale wrapper, the LT Master thing? It works for me. It's not any faster, that's for sure. By the time you pick up your grass and bring it to it and dump it in there, and then it does its thing. It's all about the same speeds. That's interesting, Fred, that other maps crash, but the Stevie maps are good. You just bring it up to the side, and then you get in the tractor and you hit R to reload the foil and the wrap. You open the side doors. You bring your pallet up to the side of the LT Master. And if you jump in the tractor, you should get a refill LT Master thing. And the default key binding, I think, is R. They don't load by hand. Oh, okay. I don't think they're dependent on being on the right side. So I don't think it's because you've got maybe the wrap on the wrong side. Maybe you bought the wrong wrap. Maybe you bought the wrap for the Ultima. That would be the thing, wouldn't it? So I learned something today. In Discord, there was a person that had put a message up there saying that they couldn't run the Sosnoska map even with an empty mod folder. The game would just never load, but they could obviously load other maps just fine. And someone had put in there a comment wondering if this individual had a custom train skin. Because I had replied back that it wouldn't load for me either. And it turned out that if you have a custom train skin, you can't load Sosnoska. It just crashes. So if you replace the custom train skin with the in-game train skin, then the map just opens up just fine. Alright, $11,000. Not a bad little payday. I don't know if we're going to be able to it's 10:48. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to the sawmill and back to the farm. And have too much time to spare to water our sheeps. The grasshopper, that's a fun little mod. I've seen it. I haven't used it. No, it's called a grasshopper. Not necessarily grasshopper, but I think it's called a grasshopper. It's got 4 wheels. It's like a you sit in it like it's a dune buggy, and it flies around the map. It's got 2 things that extend out some ridiculously long length, and it mows at some ridiculously fast speed. I think it holds like 100,000 liters of grass or whatever. That's never a good thing when all your mods just disappear. $3,235,000. Not a bad payday. I think the grasshopper also has the ability to refuel and do customizing. There may be some other trigger that it's got. It's one of those purely fictitious implements that when you're just looking for a little bit of fun, a little bit of unrealistic fun, it's a nice little thing. All right. Do we have time to... Definitely don't have time to get that. Do we have time to run over here, get our water, come back and start it before we fast forward? Let's see. I don't think we will. No, we have 6 minutes. 5 minutes, which is like less than 1 game minute. Less than 1 real life minute. Oh, that was barely met that. Now that was very close. So I didn't want to run through midnight. 90,000 in wood, 27,000 in greenhouses, 11,000 in field job income. Not a bad little day overall. Oops, let's get back here. Check our sheepies out. So our sheep are going to take every little bit of that trailer and more water. We need to feed them when we come back, and we need to cleanly them up. All right. Well, 6 o'clock. The sun's been up for a while, it seems. Grass is looking good. I'm excited about being able to maybe mow next game day. Get water. There, get water. There we go. Alright, so guys, thanks for watching. We're going to finish filling up this tank of water, and we're going to pull it up out of this little pond here. We're going to call it a stream, and we'll be back. I don't know if we'll be back tomorrow or not. Kind of depends on something else I want to see if I can get done tomorrow. If we don't come back tomorrow, we will be back on Tuesday evening. I will try to schedule the stream so you'll get a notification that we'll be live streaming. We are in game day 4 of spring now. We have just 2 more game days of spring after this, and then we have 18 more game days until the end of the challenge. So we are doing a great job on getting this thing wrapped up. So we're going to save here. We're going to quit the game because the challenge requires us to go back to the main menu, and then we are going to stop the stream. So once again, thanks everybody for coming out and watching, and until next time, happy farming.